Hey, and welcome to the Meditations and Musings podcast. I'm Elena Lipson. I'm a mama, I'm a wife, and I'm the founder of the Divine Self-Care Circle membership and the Virtual Retreat Academy. I don't believe that you have to sacrifice your body, your health, or your family in order to create true abundance and prosperity. I believe in living based on the divine feminine metrics of success, and these include pleasure, play, ease, grace, and a slower pace. Each week, I'll bring you 1 to 2 new episodes. One of these will be a guided meditation that you don't have to do on the meditation pillow, and the other will be a conversation to help you access your inner wisdom, to ignite abundance, and inspire others to do the same. I invite you to join me on this journey back to the magic of a divinely aligned and well cared for you. And now, join me for today's episode. Hello and welcome to today's Meditations and Musings episode. Again, this is your host, Elena Lipson, Divine Self-Care Mentor, founder of the Divine Self-Care Circle, the Virtual Retreat Academy, and of course, this Meditations and Musings podcast. We're going to dive right in today. After just a moment of explanation, I want to give you a little bit of background as to why clearing the blocks and forgiveness are so connected. So many times we are holding on to past regrets, resentments, and anger that keep us stuck from moving forward in the things that we really want to create in life, whether it is a new business, a new venture, new friendships, new relationships. We get stuck in this loop of old anger, old resentment, and we are stuck in it because we are holding on to feelings. And sometimes those feelings can be resolved with the person if you get brave and courageous to have the difficult conversations. And sometimes it's impossible to do that. Sometimes the person you have anger towards is someone who you don't have access to communicate with. Perhaps it's someone who's passed away. Perhaps it's someone who is just not within your realm of communication anymore, someone from your past. And sometimes it's yourself. Sometimes you have broken promises to yourself, or you have done things that you wish you haven't done, which is where the regret comes in. And it builds up this sort of residue of anger, light film of anger, if you will, over everything that you do, and it causes you to hold yourself back from moving forward in new ways. So today I want to give you a simple meditation exercise, and it is based on one that I learned several years ago with one of my mentors, Carolyn Mace, and she is a phenomenal, energetic healer and teacher, and someone who I go to in terms of learning energetic practices and really learning how to move energy, inner energy and outer energy. And so one of these exercises is one that is based on imagination, imagining that you're sitting across from this person that you're going to forgive. So in today's guided meditation, I invite you to do it during a time where you can actually close your eyes, because you can run through it quickly with your eyes open, but it's much more powerful if you can give yourself at least 5 minutes to go with me here. You can also, once you do this with me one time, you can also do it on your own anytime. And it's a very simple, powerful exercise. And you'll find that, like, hopefully what happened for me was it gives you a sense of compassion for the other person, and also gives you clarity. And in that clarity, you can move into forgiveness. And forgiveness is a very powerful tool that you have as a human being to release some of those old blocks and to really understand that, yes, things have happened. Yes, some things feel very unforgivable, but a lot of it is really about you holding on to anger, resentment, regret, old feelings that are essentially keeping you stuck in the moment. So it's your choice whether you choose to take this to the person, if you have access to have an actual conversation or write a letter, whatever that might be. But in a lot of cases, we just don't have access to do that. Or maybe the other person, maybe it doesn't feel very safe to do that. Maybe it's someone who you actually don't even know personally, but someone who is maybe activating or triggering you, or maybe it's someone out there in the political field. I don't know. We've got a lot of reasons to feel upset sometimes, and that anger can actually fuel a lot of positive action, but it also can keep you stuck if you hold on to that anger without allowing it to move into the forgiveness phase. Now, no one can tell you when you're ready to do that, but doing it in your imagination can give you a sense of where you are in terms of being ready to actually take this into real life, or perhaps you may even get some of the resolution that you need in this particular guided meditation. For me, I was able to release some of the kind of like that energy that I was holding around forgiveness for this one particular person. And in some cases, it was for myself. I've done this exercise many different times. And it really helps me to shift the energy, which sometimes, as Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say, when you change the way you look at something, that thing changes. And that is so true for people as well. So enough of the explanation. I have a feeling you have an idea of where we're going with this. So if you haven't already, I invite you to press pause on the recording and to go ahead and find a place where you can have some silence, whether you're sitting in your car or you're sitting in your home somewhere. Even if you're sitting, at a coffee shop, you can definitely, if you're feeling safe, to just close your eyes and to find some quiet space. But if you can be somewhere quiet, I would definitely encourage that so that there's no interruptions. Okay, so at this point, go ahead and close your eyes and start to just do a simple scan of your body, of your big muscles, of your inner body, and just kind of see where you can invite softening, a breath, a relaxation. I like to start at the top and just allow my scalp to soften. So I invite you to do the same. Invite your scalp, your ears, and sometimes just by placing a simple awareness on a part of your body, it automatically just starts to relax. So I invite you to do that with your eyes, your forehead, all the muscles of your face, your cheeks. Sometimes it helps if you release your jaw, parting your teeth and your lips just a little bit, releasing some of that tension you might be holding in your jaw. Allowing your breath to continue to just soften at its own pace without really trying to control it, just noticing it. And in that softening, inviting a relaxation and a softening of your shoulders. Inviting your breath to help you relax your upper arms, your lower arms, your hands, your fingers. Perhaps they're resting on your legs and your thighs. Maybe they're just resting at your sides, whatever is comfortable for you. Continuing to invite your breath to soften in your chest and your back, both your upper back, your mid back, and your lower back. Maybe wiggling a little bit to invite a little bit more loosening. Inviting a sense of softness and relaxation to your chest, your upper belly, your lower belly. And don't forget your side body, left side, right side. Continuing to ride the wave of your breath, allowing your hips, your pelvis, all your inner organs to just soften and relax. Allowing that gripping that we're so used to doing sometimes as we're walking through our day. To just relax and soften. Continuing to invite your breath to soften your legs, your thighs, your calves, and finally down to your feet and your toes. And finally, just do one final body scan to see if there's any gripping or tension that you can invite your breath in to soften just a little bit more. And from this place of presence and awareness and relaxation, I invite you to, in your mind's eye, Go to a room where you feel safe in. Perhaps it's a room in your home. Perhaps it's a room you're sitting in right now. Perhaps it's a classroom where you felt safe and heard and seen as you were growing up. Just a room where you have privacy, where you know you are in a bubble of confidentiality, where you are allowed to speak your mind and your heart. And just imagine in this room, it's got the perfect lighting, the perfect temperature for you. It's on your skin. You can just feel the warm air. It's not too warm. It's not too cold. It's just perfect. And in this room, you see two chairs facing each other. And you walk over and you sit down in one of the chairs, and it's perfectly comfortable, ergonomically correct, allowing you to just lean into the seat and get cozy. And in your mind's eye, as you're sitting in this room, in the safety of this space, and sitting in this chair, I invite you to focus on someone that you have a past hurt, past anger that you're still holding somewhere in your body. And in your mind's eye, this person sits down in the chair right across from you. And if you're feeling any tension in your body, just allow yourself to take a nice deep breath, knowing that you are safe, you are well, you are guided. And as you look at this person sitting across from you, I invite you to ask a question. And the question is, what are you here to teach me? Just wait for the answer. I'll give you a moment of silence while the answer arises. And the question is, what are you here to teach me? And trust the first thing that comes up. For some of you, it will be patience. For some of you, it will be actual forgiveness. And for some of you, it will be a deeper lesson, one that you've been carrying for a long time. So I'll give you a little bit more silence to continue and see if there's anything else. As you continue to ask the question of the person sitting across from you, what are you here to teach me? Now you can ask this person, what am I here to teach you? And this is a tricky question because sometimes it doesn't feel like you're there to give the other person anything. But remember, we're dealing in the realm of the imagination. We're dealing in the realm of mystery, of the unknown. So we're just going to follow the lead and ask, what am I here to teach you? And if nothing comes to mind, that's okay as well. You can do this exercise as many times as you need to. And if nothing comes up right away, that's okay as well. Now that there's been a reciprocal giving and taking in this particular relationship, even if it doesn't feel so pleasant at the moment, there's a sense of understanding that people are placed in our lives for a purpose. Sometimes it's to teach us something, and sometimes it's for us to give them a gift of awareness. And we can't orchestrate that. We can't control it. It just happens. in the realm of living life. And now, if you feel ready, if you understand the depth of the connection that you have with this person, ask yourself if you're ready to offer forgiveness. And if you are, in your mind's eye, repeat the words, I forgive you. I release any old anger. I release any old hurts. And I understand that this is a process. And this might just be the beginning for me. I've planted the seed of forgiveness, whether I can say it out loud or not. And if you can find it in your heart right now, look across at this person and offer your gratitude in whatever way feels appropriate for you. Now, the second part of this meditation is as this person is ready to leave the chair and leave your safe space, we have one more forgiveness. As you look across the chair, sitting across from you, the next person to walk in is you. And you find yourself sitting across from yourself, as you are at this age, at this stage in your life. Now, the reason that you are sitting across from you is because another reason that we sometimes as humans stop ourselves from moving forward, from allowing ourselves to create in life, from allowing ourselves to receive at the level that we're ready to receive is because we might even be holding anger, resentment, guilt towards ourselves. At the core, you might be holding resentment or guilt around having done something or not having done something, around an old decision that you made from the place that you were then, guilt over not doing something that you wish you should have done, could have done, would have done. And this guilt, this resentment, this anger that you hold towards yourself becomes a very heavy weight, an anchor that holds you back from releasing those old feelings and stepping into a place of expansion, of higher vibration, of joy, and of kindness to yourself. So right now, I want you to think about those hurts, maybe those broken promises to yourself. It could just be as simple as maybe there's a goal that you wanted to reach but you didn't. Maybe you wanted to start something or finish something. It could even be something as simple as wanting to start to go to the gym and you haven't done it. Sometimes it's the most simple habits that we keep trying to do but don't do that cause us the most grief. And so whatever those are, whether they be small transgressions or built up over time, or perhaps you're carrying guilt over something you think you should have done for someone else. Whatever is coming to mind right now, let it pool in front of you in a big, clear bubble. Just pour it in there. Pour the old hurts against yourself, the times that you promised yourself something but didn't do it and got angry at yourself over it. Perhaps you're still holding on to those. Just allow those, whether they're symbols or words or actual little bubbles of energy, let them pour into a big bubble right in front of you, right between you and you. And once you feel complete, allow this energy, this bubble filled with your own broken promises to yourself and the guilt and the resentment, put that in there as well. Old timetables, old should have, would have, could haves, put those in there as well. Any last lingering bits, let them go in there in front of you as well. And as you look up, you notice that there's a hole in the ceiling of the room, and you let this bubble filled with your old past hurts and resentments and anger towards yourself, old guilt, old things that you've been carrying, letting that bubble rise up through this perfectly shaped hole in the ceiling that leads to the outside, allowing this bubble to rise, all the way up into the sky and the universe, allowing it to alchemize right back into the energy of the universe. The universe, the earth, the stars, the sky loves to change old broken energy into new things. It's what the universe does best. And so now with this new clear space in front of you between yourself and yourself, you can look across into your own eyes, and in your own time, repeat these words. I truly forgive you for all those things that I should have, would have, could have done. I forgive you for all those times that I broke promises to you. And I am ready to start again. Just notice any lightness or expansion in your heart chakra. Notice any lightness, any joy trickling into your eyes, into your throat chakra. And take a moment to take this opportunity and ask yourself, sitting across from yourself, what do you need most to move forward? And wait for the answer. And perhaps you need some reciprocal forgiveness. So now take a moment to listen to yourself forgiving you. And now in your own time, give gratitude to yourself for choosing kindness, for choosing forward momentum, for choosing release and letting go. And now that you're complete, you're ready to leave this space and come back into your body with a new awareness, a new lightness, and a new clarity, and a new tool to be able to go back and do this as many times as you need to with yourself, with others, with those that you find you have disagreements with. Now, this inner forgiveness guided meditation, as I mentioned earlier, does not replace true conversation, true dialogue, and true sharing of authentic feelings. But it does give you a space to start the process, to plant the seed, to wonder if there's something that this other person is meant to teach you. And if so, then how can you find gratitude for the situation? It might help you to dissipate some of that raw anger, that raw confrontation, and to take some wisdom, clarity, and gratitude into your actual conversation, if that's something you're going to move towards. Now, I'd love for you to take this opportunity and grab a pen and a journal and to just write about your experience, to see if you can glean any additional wisdom, insights, awakenings around this process of forgiveness. Perhaps you'll even capture some of those lessons, some of those things that you're here to teach the other person and the other is meant to teach you. So take an opportunity after this podcast is over and to just give yourself some time to reflect, because wisdom without capturing the momentum and taking action can sometimes be lost. But allow yourself to let this opportunity of connection to simmer and to really sit inside your soul and your body and to ripple out into continuing awareness and lessons. Sometimes when we do an exercise, it continues to percolate inside of our brains and in our hearts. And maybe you want to write about it a little bit later and let it just process for a while. And that's perfectly wonderful as well. So I want to congratulate you for being brave and for taking the step to go through the forgiveness process in this simple yet powerful guided forgiveness meditation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you received some benefit. And if you did, I'd love for you to share it with someone who you think can benefit from doing a forgiveness meditation as well. Thank you so much for being here this week. I can't wait to see you again next week on the Meditations and Musings podcast. This is your host, Elena Lipson, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much for listening and learning about the new divine self-care way of being in your life, business, and the bedroom based on the divine feminine metrics of success: pleasure, play, ease, grace, and a slower pace. If you're ready to bust the myth of overwhelm and tap into an inspired start to each day, I've put together a free video series for you to help you start each day with energy, inspiration, and ignite that inner pilot light which attracts joy, magic, and synchronicity. You can access my 3-step magic morning practice to help you ignite your inner light and attract the abundance that you're craving. Head on over to elenalipson.com/gift. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would so love if you share it with a friend, a sister, a mother, a daughter, and please leave a review. That is how the magic starts to ripple out. Here's wishing you a day full of beauty, magic, and divine self-care. I'll see you next time at the Meditations and Musings podcast.